welcome back to this fabulous channel. Welcome back to the City of Sin. If you are new to this channel or stopping in for the first time, my name is Ryan. I will be your host as always, but today we're driving down the fabulous Las Vegas Boulevard. Welcome to Las Vegas. Sign is back over to my left there. Over to my right, check out Harley Davidson. They have a bunch of cool stuff in there. Some motorcycles that you can get there as well. But we're gonna take you down the fabulous strip. We're headed from South Las Vegas Boulevard down to the Stratosphere. So I wasn't going to take you all the way downtown because it kind of gets boring down there. A bunch of wedding chapels, pawn shops, all that stuff. Everybody has seen that stuff in the city that they live in already. So I didn't figure I would bore you to death with that here in Las Vegas today. So we're driving right now, like I said, north on Las Vegas Boulevard. This is going to take us down the strip. We can see all the glitz and glamour, things that everybody wants to see. We can see some of the changes that have happened since the prior year. Now on my left side over here will be the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. So if you need to go to the convention center, you can take a left for that right there and go to the Four Seasons as well at, or part or near the Mandalay Bay. But over on my left is Mandalay Bay. Over on my right, I get asked this all the time. What are those concrete pillars that are there? Those concrete pillars are a failed Ferris wheel. I guess you could count the new high roller as kind of taking that one's glory. But yes, that was intended or was built to be a Ferris wheel that kind of never went to fruition. So I get asked that all the time. That's what that is. So if you guys don't know what those pillars are for, that is what it was meant for, but it never came to fruition. The high roller is now up. It's like a capsule Ferris wheel that can fit like 30 or 40 people in it at a shot, and they have like an hour, like a power hour where you can go within that little capsule thing and drink all you can drink or whatever. So I think this one is never gonna happen. It would be cool. The idea concept was great because when that was originally designed, or when the towers were poured for that project, the high roller was not even in existence in that point or at that time. So it would have been cool to see. Would have had an awesome view overlooking the airports and watching the planes arrive and depart. That would have been really cool as a aviation geek to kind of see some stuff like that. But any Vegas adventurer would love to see something like that. I still think they should build it. I don't think it's really feasible to do it at this point, not unless you can build it for relatively cheap and keep tickets under that $15.95 range. If they could do that, I think they would have some success in bringing it around, kind of like the Drew further down in Las Vegas. We'll kind of talk about the Drew a little bit later and kind of how that failed to become a project as well. So now that the light's green at these forever never lights, we're going to continue our way down. Oh shoot, I didn't even realize you had your blinker. I would have let you in, my bad, sorry. Luxor is over on my left hand side, followed by the Excalibur. Over to my right is the famous, it's been here forever, the Tropicana. Tropicana is a good little spot. The new OYO, this is a redo of Hooters Las Vegas. So if you guys are wondering, the OYO, I'm gonna have to check that out on the next one. These more in-depth walkthrough tours, I'm trying to do more of Las Vegas, more in-depth, showing you like the food courts, convention centers, things to do, way to earn points on your Players Club card, how to get things free or comped in Las Vegas. So I have plenty of stuff that we're doing in Las Vegas that's different. It's a little bit of a spin-off, but I feel that I wanted to play with some of these ideas, see how well they actually come together, and do some more in-depth strip walk videos. I know I've gotten that concern a few times where people wanted to see like the food courts, different places to eat, different things to do within these resorts. Because people are truly correct, you could spend all day in one of these resorts and still not see it all. I mean, I've been to Las Vegas probably 15 to 20 times in the last few years, and there is still stuff that I haven't seen in the city. Now I know that sounds wild with somebody that comes here all the time, but there is still some parts of these casinos that I've explored before that I thought that I went through the entire thing, but I've ended up missing something or not seeing it on the first time, but I've caught it on some of the other times. So Right now we're gonna continue northbound. This is Tropicana here and Las Vegas Boulevard. Over on my left, that's the famous New York, New York. Over on my right, that's the famous MGM Grand, where they host some of the wildest fights that you can see here in Las Vegas. Over to my right, there's a bunch of shops that you can check out. American Eagle, there's T-Mobile, Adidas, Designer Shoe Warehouse. Over on my left is Park MGM, followed on my right by Coca-Cola, and I didn't notice it, but Outback Steakhouse is right up there too. Hard Rock is over to the right. Ross Dress for Less is coming along, or there's a new expansion, so I'll have to show you that in the strip walk video, so don't miss that. Over on my left, there is the famous CVS Pharmacy or the Walgreens that you guys can always check out to get those discounted drinks here in Las Vegas. When it's hot, it's good to grab a cool drink in the city or just to have a drink in general. Over on my right is the Travelodge. We talked about that. Some of these little gift shops where you can get some 4 for $10 t-shirts coming up on Harmon Avenue here. This is where you'll take a left to get to the parking garage at the Cosmo, also Aria as well. So Aria is on my left-hand side. Over to my right, the Chick-fil-A is actually up and open. Planet Hollywood is over there as well. Cosmo is up on my left-hand side, followed by Bellagio on my left, the famous fountains, who could ever forget that. Over on my right, you have Paris with the epic Eiffel Tower. The view from the top, 360 degrees. You'll definitely have to go there, check it out. They do have different prices for day and night, so be sure to check that out in Vegas. This is Paris Drive here, so if you take a right, this will take you to the back side of the parking garage here towards Paris. Over on my left, that will take you to the parking garage at the Bellagio. You can also get to the Paris parking garage by going off of Koval, as well as Bally's as well. Bally's and Paris are both Caesars Entertainment properties, so keep that in mind if you're staying at Caesars, or if you use Caesars, you can do that there. Over on my left, the Bellagio is an MGM property, so if you are an MGM M-Life member, that will work for your parking garages and things like that. I think the furthest one on the left-hand side or west side of Las Vegas Boulevard for you M-Lifers is going to be the Mirage. That's the farthest down that has free parking. I believe Encore and Wynn, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they ditched the pay for parking. I think that went pretty hard pressed with a lot of their guests that used to drive all the way down there and find out that you have to pay for parking when it's all the way, in my opinion, kind of far down the strip. I mean, not really, but it is in a sense. This right here is Flamingo and Las Vegas. Over on my right-hand side, you have the Cromwell. On the left is the famous Caesars. This has been around forever, as well as the Flamingo, one of the original casinos on the Las Vegas Boulevard that is still operational to this day in Las Vegas. So really cool, the history behind the Flamingo and Caesars. Omnia is at Caesars, so if you guys are looking for a good nightclub, that's a good spot. Bacchanal is also there. Great buffet, one of the best in Las Vegas, so you'll have to check that out. Over to my right is the Link, followed by that nasty scent of Harris, but I think they've dulled it down a little bit. Maybe it's because of me, maybe it's because of others, but Harris doesn't smell as bad as what it used to. Over on my left, the Caesars Forum Shop. It has literally not changed in 25 years, so if you've been there before, it really hasn't changed. Some shops come and go, but that's about it. Over on my left is the Mirage. So if you guys are wondering, the last MGM property, that is it on your left-hand side. Over to my right, you will have the famous Palazzo and the Venetian, and off on my left, this is TI, or Treasure Island. Everybody dubs it TI for short, because it takes way too long to say Treasure Island when you're telling your friends where you're at here in Las Vegas. So if you take a right, I believe this will take you to the parking garage at the Venetian. I've never parked at the Venetian. I've always parked at the Palazzo if I have to park anywhere. I'm not sure if they pay for parking there, but I have heard that the Palazzo and the Venetian both are all-suite hotels. So when you stay in these hotels, every single room is a suite. So when I say suite in Las Vegas, what that means is a separated bedroom from the living room. It's nothing like crazy, spectacular, or anything like that. It just means more additional space. a different living area compared to where you sleep and go to bed at night. So that's basically what a suite means in Las Vegas. So if you're confused by when people say they got a suite, basically all they're saying is they got an attached living room. Sometimes it's attached, sometimes it's detached where it has its own separate bedroom, like the Delano had at Mandalay Bay, which was pretty cool that we stayed at there. And then coming up here, we will take you past Encore Wynn. I'm gonna take you past the fashion show coming up here, and then Resort World. Everybody wanted an update on Resort World, how Resort World was coming, and what the progress was on that. It's actually coming through pretty quickly. I will talk about the Drew, or the old Fountainbleu, coming up here on the right. They finally got that somewhat finished, we'll say. Now this thing had a lot of bankruptcy troubles. If you want to see the history of it, Wikipedia on Google has a bunch of information. Over on my right, this is the Palazzo. This will take you to where you get dropped off if you're taking a taxi to the Palazzo, is right over there. Up on my left-hand side after you pass Sands. So on the west-hand side, this is Spring Mountain Road. Over to my right, this is the Sands. So if you take that to the right, that will take you to the parking garage of the Palazzo. Parking garage to the Wynn Encore is coming up here a little bit further. And then on my left-hand side, that big alien spaceship saucer type deal, that is the Fashion Show Mall. So they have a bunch of different shops and stuff at the fashion show. Come on, people, let this copper through. He's got stuff to do. He's got stuff to do. He hammered that thing. But anyway, the fashion show has a bunch of LEDs on the outside of it now, which is absolutely cool. I think they've had them in years past. I don't quite remember. I'll have to check some of the videos and check it out. Passing Sands here, still continuing our way north down Las Vegas Boulevard, and we will work our way past the Wynn on our right-hand side. Speed limit is 30 here on Las Vegas Boulevard, so just be wary of that. If you take a right here, this will take you to the valet at the Wynn, and also the Wynn self-parking and Encore parking garage is going to be up a little bit further here on my right-hand side. But if you want to valet at Wynn, you'll take a right there. If you are trying to self-park at the Wynn or at the Encore, it's going to be a little bit further down here on my right-hand side. I'll be sure to point that out for you guys. So right here, if you take a right, that will take you to the Wynn self-park there, and the Encore self-park as well. Now over on my left, that big gigantic thing there, that's going to be Resort World. It should be an awesome expansion to Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm happy to see another resort come to Vegas, and the progress on it has happened so quickly. It's promising that this one will actually be completed in time, if not early, for its release. I think they said that it was supposed to be done in early 2021, so we'll still see if that still plays true. Now, you see that big building up on, well, straight ahead and on my right-hand side. That is the Fountainbleu, or others have dubbed it the Drew now. That has been under bankruptcy since like 2008. They finally got the outside done with windows and stuff. Back when I was first coming to Vegas, this thing was just a desolate concrete pillars, then it turned into a concrete shell, and now they finally got some glass on the outside to kind of spruce it up a little bit, make it look cool. But hopefully they plan on opening that. I'm not sure what it was designed for originally, but we'll check it out when it does open. Circus Hotel and Casino is over on my left-hand side. A lot of people diss Circus, but the gaming, from what I've experienced for M Life, actually that is the furthest M Life property. I lied, Mirage isn't. Now that I remember, Circus is an MGM Resorts property as well. It plays pretty decent there. I've had good experience at the Circus Casino, so if you haven't done that, be sure to check it out. The old SLS is done. They renamed it back to the Sahara Las Vegas, so thank goodness it's back as the Sahara. A lot of people were upset that it changed in the first place. A lot of people wanted it redubbed, renovated, and called the Sahara Las Vegas. They wanted to do it as SLS to give it a new brand, new name and everything, but now it is back as Sahara. A lot of people are very excited about that. We do have a storm that is coming in to the city. I did the strip walk video today. It was absolutely freezing. It was such a pleasant treat to be able to get into a nice warm vehicle and do some driving for a change, because we have a storm coming in from the north. It's already raining in North Las Vegas. I thought I was going to be caught in the rain because it looked to get relatively cloudy when I got to MGM and I parked at the Mirage. So it would have been a long walk kind of in the rain, not really, because I would have got on the tram to Bellagio, kind of hit it up Caesars and went through the Forum shop and popped out by the Mirage. I mean, I know my ways to get throughout Vegas when it's raining without being outside, because it did end up raining during this adventure, during this trip. So it's one of those things that you always got to be prepared for it, know where you're going and how to go through these casinos the back way, which I kind of show you in the strip walk video that I did film for you a little bit earlier today, which you'll definitely have to check out for sure. Over on my left hand side, this is the world's largest gift shop. This is pretty crazy. They have a bunch of stuff there. You can find pretty much the same thing at all the gift shops here in Las Vegas. None really changes from the other. We're coming up here on Sahara in Las Vegas is the intersection that we're currently sitting for the light for. But I'll take you past the Strat, and then I think we're kind of going to end this video there. But be sure to like these videos. If you guys do like these videos, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon. This helps bring more of Las Vegas to you guys. Vegas is not a cheap city to come to, so I appreciate all the support that you guys can give me to help me come to this city a little bit easier. So I appreciate all of you Patreon members, which I'm going to share all of you in the credits of the strip walk video. So thank you for everything that you do. Your support is a blessing, truly. But as always, guys, you know who I am. My name is Ryan. I will be with you on all of these Las Vegas adventures. I truly hope that you guys enjoy the new content. If you do, show your support in that comment section. Be sure to inquire about things that you wanted to see filmed here in Las Vegas. But I hope you all enjoy the video. Until next time.